bring you in as JoonSoo mulligans to 6 here. He knows that InHyeok is likely playing any manner of Tropical Island Underground Sea deck. He's going to be facing probably Wasteland, Lilianas of various types, Force of Will, and a smattering of whatever else. InHyeok typically messes around with check pile these days, but a lot of the time he cuts the red also, and he just plays like bug control. JoonSoo has cut many of the like turbo or Eldrazi stompy parts and has sized himself up a little bit, and now plays posts as well. I wasn't watching who was on the play. I don't think it matters that much in this matchup, but JoonSoo is going to try to chalice his opponent out and then run Thought-Knot Seers and Reality Smashers into him. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so InHyeok goes on the play, and wouldn't be surprised to see a Mana Dork here, or a Ponder, either way. So turn 1 Deathrite Shaman, and JoonSoo has the ability to ramp into a lot of things here. It looks like he might fight over this Deathrite Shaman with the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Oh, he's definitely fighting over this now. I think InHyeok's going to have to force a Spyglass here, because his hand doesn't do very much else without a Deathrite. And of course, in Paper Magic, we're going to ignore the fact that he attacked with the Summoning Sick one and just, swap their places a little bit. Alright, so 2 untapped Cloud Posts on turn 3. I assume that we're just going to run out Sorcerer's Spyglass here, and it's going to eat a Force because InHyeok is going to fall too far behind if he gets left with some 1-2 do-nothings. They make good speed bumps for Thought-Knots, but I think JoonSoo is tanking on whether he should play Mana Rock here and whether he has enough time, because actually the Deathrites don't really do very much until there's more sorceries in the yard and stuff. He's going to fight over it now. I would be really surprised if this doesn't eat a Force of Will. InHyeok is going to pitch a Snapcaster Mage to retain use of his Deathrite Shamans and to hide info. I guess he's also holding Jace. And yeah, he really needs these Deathrite Shamans because he has no access to another mana. JoonSoo will gain 3 life, 1 life for each post, and have access to 7 mana. And he already got a Force of Will out of hand. So this, when I say out of hand, it's definitely going to get out of hand. There's a Grim Monolith. Okay, so yeah, we lead on Thought-Knot Seer, and looks to me like InHyeok can't actually cast anything, but I think A pretty good path to victory here is just taking the Thought Seer, which can get in the way of our big stuff. And he's holding a Chalice also. It doesn't seem like it's going to make that much of a big deal this game. But we can throw it on one this turn. It'll require an Abrupt Decay if this game somehow keeps going. And sorry, I'm unclear as to which big nasty Eldrazi that is. I feel like that's Kozilek, but I could be wrong. Regardless, he's a little bit off from that because he hasn't had any temples this game. So let's take True Name Nemesis so he can't top deck a land and block Thought Knot. Right. I think he's got Kozilek and Ulamog. Or might be an Endbringer. He's going to take the Abrupt Decay and then space out the fact that he's playing a Chalice. So his decision was just to take the spell that he will actually be able to cast and go from there, which I'm okay with. He has more experience with this deck than I do. I just wondering whether we should just like play to the actual situation or play to what we can do. Oh, he's holding a thorn. Okay, so he really wanted the thorn to survive, and yeah. Sorry, I didn't know that there was a presence of a thorn. That does make the Abrupt Decay make way more sense. He was going to die to just a lone Thought Knot Seer. He didn't even need to do much more. So InHyeok will be on the play for game 2. I think that's very common in a matchup like this. Like control deck sort of losing game 1 very easily. And we'll see if he can put together a faster game plan here without stumbling on mana. He can also be convinced that he's safe from Wasteland here. Post decks just don't play it. Also, I don't think InHyeok even plays basics. Not in this. He does play with impatient hand waving. That's one way to get ahead here. Wasting post decks is like actually really, really fun. Very, very fun.
Or if it does, then it's like the worst losing game ever.
City of Traders as your only land drop feels very bad. Oh, he's getting dazed. JoonSoo is not happy about this game. This has gone very poorly. So True Name. This is why I thought True Name was so important in the first game. Being able to just block off the Thought-Knot Seer forever is very important when he gets low on life. And now with, while feeling ahead, he can actually use it as his tool to win the game until it starts mattering. JoonSoo's holding an Ugin, which is very nice, very clean answer to True Name, really. And he knows that the hand was quite bad. The draw is Pithing Needle, but the card to name with Pithing Needle is unknown. I think I would keep that. I don't know what I would name in the blind here. Could be a lot of things. I mean, ultimately, when we lose to this deck playing Force of Will decks, we're losing because of Eye of Ugin. But that's a long way from mattering. We might need it for something else. Tanking. And names.
라차빵.
Oh, Ratchet Bomb. Okay.
내 입장에선 당연해.
What was the draw? Show me Ratchet Bomb.
맞지 우리. 너 10점이야. 스택. 8점 더.
So he knows that the hand is dead, but the True Name is going to kill him very quickly.
고기방.
Names Deathrite to stem the bleeding, and it really looks like he needs to come up with a large amount of mana very fast. It's not clear to me that he can actually make enough mana to cast an Ugin before he's just dead to True Name here, right? Ugin is not an Eldrazi, so the temples don't help here that much.
Wait, no, you have to let me see your own deck.
I think this is the phase of the game where you watch the Stompy player draw his last card and scoop quickly. There's another True Name, unlikely to matter. He finds no Force of Will.
You know what you can board in? If you boarded in an Emrakul, then I couldn't win.
If there was a specific card that he was looking for, I'm unclear on what it is.
If you have two, no, because they have to go to their draw step anyway.
Usually, for me personally, I need a very strong argument to main phase Brainstorm when I'm winning the game.
When Grindstone is activated, until they have to draw another card.
That's why you put in words and taste to make them draw the cards.
What's the wording on Gitaxian Probe?
You have to draw the card.
What's the word on Ponder?
You still have to draw the card. Ancestral recall. Put in words.
Ancestral Recall works.
Words of wisdom. So you draw 3, they draw 2 or whatever.
How about Skeletal Scrying?
다음 타자.
How about
하세요.
Alright, so the next True Name doesn't help him win, so I wouldn't have cast him. But the point is moot, so.
아니야 1대1.
Okay. JoonSoo, on the left. Cloud Post. Glimmer Post. Grim Monolith. Reality Smasher, etc. On the right, on the draw, InHyeok. Mana Dorks, True Name Nemesis. Jace, Force of Will.
세크해야 되잖아.
아니 뭐 완전히 대체가 됐네요.
그러니까 어느 정도 그러니까
JoonSoo mulliganing a lot.
종이호환이면 사람들이 그걸로 쓰겠지. 그렇게 비싼 땅으로 쓰겠어.
맞아. 그리고 배반자들이
InHyeok has lands and Force of Will.
너무 평화로운 편속이다
Also, seems to me that Trinisphere is an important spell in this matchup. Yeah, and it has to eat a force here. But I was going to say Chalice seems less important because the True Name Bug deck tends to get its ones out of its hands pretty fast. It's more aggressive than the average, just like bug control muddy list where we're just trying to get up to Jace or something. This deck actually has a win con and it's very fast.
일단 눈가리가 싫어.
눈깔이 다음에 뭐가 나올지 뻔히.
Well, it's not that fast, but you can't interact with it.
눈깔이 좋아하는 사람 한 명밖에 없어.
거기 아닌가 같은 느낌.
눈깔이 좋아하는 건 눈깔이 쓰는 사람밖에 없어. 쓸 때만 좋아.
맞을 때는 안 좋아.
그러니까.
상대가 먼저 눈가리 쭈네임 데미지가 같은
InHyeok should be at 18.
몇 턴에 나오냐에 따라 틀려.
일단 눈가리 일단 쭈네임. 뭐가 더 쉬워?
난 굴리는 덱에서 항상 눈깔이 좋아.
So it seemed like, and we're tapped out, so it seemed like if like forcing me to use the force if we went through with it.
He's a little ways away from that Ugin, but it's quite threatening. If he just takes the Thought Knot, it looks like this Trinisphere is going to resolve. I don't think he can do anything about that. And I'd be interested to know whether the City of Traders is going to be played, because it doesn't actually get him up to Ugin mana, and he doesn't want to have to sacrifice it, I assume. Oh, even that's great. Found a Cloud Post off the top.
아 클라우드 포스트 탭인이네.
네. 아 너무 좋아.
이상하다. 들어오면 이상하잖아.
몰랐어.
너 18, 16점이지.
JoonSoo can now feel pretty well protected here.
턴에 4만원잖아. 클라우드 코스트 2개 깔고.
그래서 밥 먹었구나 생각을 했겠지.
He's going to lose his Cloud Post.
약간 그런 느낌이야. 지태
Or what is Eldrazi Temple? I'm not clear on what's better.
1인 줄 알았는데 같은.
I'm leaning towards Post. What do you guys think?
제지콜 받기 싫어. 저거를.
If he wastelands, then he never has an opportunity to cast anything.
그래서 탈리아 많이 줄였습니다.
He decides on Temple. What do you guys think about that?
그래도 요즘 탈리아는 잘 안 먹었다.
There's Ivugin. That's a bad. Yeah. That does what you think.
너무 오랜만에 보니까 헷갈려.
컬러리스인지 컬러리스.
Here's a, what, a 3 mana Noble Hierarch, or.
DK를 3만원으로 쳐서 트리스피어를 포기했는데.
저 비용이 늘어나는 거라서 카운터 안 되고.
If he does have the true name, then I think he's fine.
짱나. 여기는 그런 거 안 들어가는 거 원래? 그 우르보트 뭐 이런 거 안 들어가는 건가?
안 들어가지 않나?
아,
게임 좀 하고 얘기하자.
지금 주변에서 너무 게임에 관련된 얘기.
JoonSoo just needs to roll lands off the top and slam an Ugin and or activate for repeated Eldrazi, or he just needs to roll Reality Smashers off the top until InHyeok can't do anything. And he has found a Null Rod in the top few cards. And now he's gonna take the Cloud Post, I guess.
웨스트랜드가 제일 힘들어. 사주 할게.
황해는 왜 3만원 안 내고 돼? 황해는 왜 카운터를 안 달아?
Am I off base here? This doesn't seem too hard to me. I understand the inclination to like look at that InHyeok, but I mean if you keep cutting him off of his lands, he'll never activate it, it won't ever matter. Take the cloud post. I think it's the cloud post now. Alright. We did it.
하세요.
There's no rod. Which admittedly on this board doesn't do anything. But he kept that ponder. It was wasteland null rod something. None of which seem to advance the board state that much. The null rod, I mean, it's just gonna turn off like monolith. Ratchet bomb. There's Cloud Post out of nowhere. Alright, so Cloud Post makes 2 again. Glimmer Post makes 1. Ancient Tomb makes 2. InHyeok makes Eldrazi cost 2 less. Wait, is that right? Sorry. Yeah, 2 less. But it doesn't generate mana on its own. He just pondered into Wasteland again. Disgusting. Never have 3 mana ponders looked so good.
뭔가 이유가 왜 목표 네타가 있는 줄 알았지. 그래서 결정 나고
There's a city. There's a monolith. That monolith don't do nothing.
So if I didn't give up the brain, my blue card, I was still covered. So I had to come up.
When in doubt, tap the table. You knew that the ponder. He just greedily kept that ponder because it was wasteland. He didn't care about the rest. Two. Glimmer Post, gain 2.
8점? 아니야 2점 차이. 2점 7점.
He's at 7 life, by the way. He's at 5 life.
이거 안 돼.
You cannot use. Yep. All right.
형, 제인이 형.